Hello everyone, welcome to my channel World of AWS. I hope you all are doing good. So we are continuing with Terraform tutorial, and in this video we are going to discuss about Terraform workspace. Okay, so an infrastructure created through the Terraform is tied to the underlying Terraform configuration and a state file. Okay, so whenever you are going to create any resource using the Terraform, okay, like suppose you are going to create one EC2 instance, it will have one TF state file that is managing this resource, right? And it will have all the information that EC2 instance have created in your AWS account, right? So what if we have multiple state file for a single Terraform configuration? Okay, can we manage different environment through it separately? So I just wanted to discuss this point. Like suppose we want to have one single Terraform configuration file and I want to have different state file for the managing of different environment. Okay, so how we can manage it? Can we manage different environment through it separately using a single Terraform configuration file? Yes, we can manage it using Terraform workspace. Okay, so let's go ahead and discuss it. Introducing Terraform workspace. So Terraform workspace enable us to manage multiple set of deployments, okay, from the same set of configuration file. Means you can use single Terraform configuration file. Here example of the configuration file that is creating EC2 instance. Okay, and here we can see the workspace. So dev workspace and prod workspace. So we have different environment and we have different EC2 type. We can have different EC2 type according to the environment. So suppose in the dev you want T2.micro and in production you want T2.medium. So you can manage it using the single configuration file of Terraform using the workspace feature. Okay, and you can separate both environment using the Terraform workspace feature, like dev and prod. You can separate it. Both will have its own TF state file. Okay, and they are not going to interconnect with each other. Okay, so flexibility with workspace. Okay, depending on the workspace being used, the value of a specific argument in your Terraform configuration can also change. Okay, so as you can see it here, the resource configuration that is creating EC2 instance, and environment we have development and production, and instance type we have T2.micro, and the for production we have M5.large. So here we have the workspace, and we are going to provision the resources using workspace feature, right? So let's go ahead and see it practically so that it will be clear for you and you can understand it easily. Okay, so till now I have this configuration file. Okay, so that will create EC2 instance. Okay, that will create EC2 instance here. So let me first open the terminal. Okay, so and we have some command that is useful whenever we are working with the workspace. Okay, so Terraform workspace list. If we run this command, so it will list all the workspace that is available. Okay, and if we run Terraform workspace, so that will show you on which workspace you are currently. Okay, and for creating new workspace, okay, so we want to create workspace like dev and prod, right? So we have to use Terraform workspace new and dev. So whenever you create any workspace, by default you will get switched to that workspace created and switched to the workspace dev, right? So here, from here, if we try to create, so let's create the prod workspace here. So as we can see, we have already created two workspace, prod and dev, right? So if you see here, now the tf state terraform.tfstate.d file came up, because we have created the workspace here, and all the workspace feature state file get managed and get stored under this terraform.tfstate.d. So as you can see here, we have two folder, okay, that one is dev and another one is prod, right? If you explore, there is nothing currently, because we have not created any infrastructure using this workspace, right? So if we run now terraform workspace list, so let's run this. As you can see, we have default workspace, we have dev, and we have prod workspace as well, and we are currently on prod workspace, right? So what we are going to do now, we are going to define the resources here, so that we can provision like EC2 instance according to the workspace, okay? So for that I am going to define the local block here, okay, that will be the instance type is equal to, so I am going with the default option as well, okay. Let me remove that. If we have the default configuration, default workspace, then we want what type of EC2 instance? We want T2 dot nano, okay. And if we have prod dev workspace, we want EC2 instance type T2 dot micro. And if our workspace is prod, okay, sorry, prod, we want instance type to be T2 dot medium, okay. So let's save this, and now here in the instance type, okay, we have to change some logic. We have to call the local block, local and dot instance type, and then after that we have to call the terraform workspace feature here, terraform workspace, okay. Let's save this, and here as you can see here, we don't have any file here currently, right? Because we don't have provision any resources using terraform workspace. And if you are going to see after the creation, you will have separate state file like related to the workspace and the environment here in the terraform.tfstate.d. So whenever you are managing your infrastructure and environment using terraform workspace, you are going to have this file that will manage your terraform state file, okay, under terraform.tfstate-d, right? So let's go and create the infrastructure. So we are currently in which workspace? We are on prod, right? So let's run terraform init first, and let me show you quickly that I don't have any EC2 instance running here. So you can see there are two instances that has been already terminated, right? So let's go to the VS Code and run terraform plan to see the plan, what resources our terraform configuration is going to create. And you can see here in the prod workspace we already got the tf state file here, right? So no, that is went because we have not yet provision our infrastructure, we just have run the plan only. Okay, so let's run terraform apply hyphen auto hyphen approve. Okay, now we are going to get the tf state file here, right? So it is, we cannot open because nothing is inside it for now, because our infrastructure is still getting created. Okay, so if I go here and refresh it, so one instance is in running state, that is T2 medium that we have defined here. If our workspace is prod, then we are going to provision T2 dot medium. Okay, so it's considering that. Okay, and I will show you all the feature, so no worry. So if I go here in the prod, okay, and if we explore the instance type here, so instance type T2 dot medium, as you can see, right? And the in AWS console you are also able to see the same instance type, right? So let me switch to the dev workspace, select dev. Okay, we want to switch to the dev workspace. Now let's run terraform init and let's run terraform plan to see the plan, what resources it's going to create. You can see here terraform tf state file is coming up under the workspace dev, right? So let's run terraform apply from the workspace dev, right? So if you see here, so it's not able to open because our resources is, it's still getting created. Okay, if you see here in the log, you can see the some info. Okay, right, desktop, this version and created whatever tf state file d dev terraform tf state, right? So you can see the tf state here, so it's getting created. So wait for few seconds. So let's go to the console and verify that we are going to have two instance. Yeah, so another instance in according to the dev workspace we have defined that if our workspace is dev, then we want to provision t2 dot micro ec2 instance, right? So here t2 dot micro instance is coming up and it's running state. And let's go to the VS Code, and if we go to the dev and if we verify the instance type here, that is instance type t2 dot micro, right? So we have t2 dot micro instance in the dev environment and we have t2 dot medium in the prod environment, and both instance both workspace tf state file is separated. Okay, and we are using one configuration that is defined here, right? This was the ask and this we wanted to achieve. Okay, so and how we have achieved this? Using the terraform workspace feature, right? So let's switch to the default workspace, select default. Okay, and let's run terraform init. So if our workspace is default, then it is going to take t2.nano, right? So let's run terraform plan. If you see here, default workspace configuration will come up, and let's run terraform apply. So wait for few seconds. our instance is getting created. So let's go to the AWS and explore it. So if you see T2.nano, we have created this instance using default workspace. So this is what we have defined here. Whenever our workspace is default, we want to provision T2.nano, okay, and whenever our workspace is dev, T2.micro. Whenever our workspace is prod, T2.medium, right? So let's go ahead and explore it. So as you can see here, instance type T2.nano. So we have default workspace. So if we are going to provision any resource using the default workspace, it's not going within the Terraform TF state.d. okay, so you have to remember it. And we don't usually provision any resource using the default workspace in any real-time project. For any organization, you don't have to provision any resources for in using the default workspace, okay, but for some testing purpose you can do it, but not for the production or dev or staging environment. You cannot do it directly using the default workspace. That point you need to keep in mind whenever you are going to work for real time projects, okay. And we already seen that this workspace Terraform TF state file is separated from the each other, and they are using the same one configuration file, okay. So this is what was the ask, and this is how we have achieved using Terraform workspace feature, right? So I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have any query, any confusion regarding this video, then please do let me know in the comment section, and do not forget to subscribe my channel. And if you are new to my channel, then do check out my other playlist as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.